a listener to the show, Scott Bertrand, I met last night. He flew into Dallas with this machine that he invented, and it's incredible. He's a doctor. He'd been working with veterans and people with cerebral palsy, people who have really, really bad backs, and people in wheelchairs. And he thought, everybody always says when you have a bad back, you got to do sit-ups. And he's like, that's the worst thing for your back. You start doing sit-ups and everybody's like, well, that's bad for your back, so don't do the sit-ups. Well, you're telling me to strengthen my core. How do I do it? And he said, I think was it golfers or something? And he started to realize that, the body, where in nature are you actually doing the sit-up? When are you laying flat in nature and all of a sudden you just have to sit up and sit back and sit up and sit back? He's like, that's just not a natural movement. And to strengthen the core, if you're only strengthening the back or the stomach, what about the obliques and everything else? So he invented this machine, and it sounds crazy, but he invented this machine, and it's now being picked up by hospitals, especially veteran hospitals, and rehab centers, but it's now being picked up by sports medicine. Some of the big football teams are starting to buy this thing. It's amazing. It's called AllCore360. I did it, and he said, I'm going to kind of go easy on you. And I'm like, look at me. I'm the picture of health. You can go hard. And what you do is you sit in a chair, and you're strapped in. Your legs and everything are strapped in. And he said, if your legs begin to feel like they're working out, he said, you're doing it wrong. All you have to do is sit up straight. That's all you have to do. You put your hands on your chest, and you just sit up straight. And your legs and your waist all strapped in, okay? Then the thing tilts between, I'm sitting at 90 degrees straight. It tilts between 90 and 0 degrees, okay? So you're either flat on your back sitting in this chair, or you're flat on your face facing the ground, okay? But your job is to sit up straight, and you have to sit up with the back of the chair. Don't touch the back of the chair. Just keep your shoulders so you're sitting up straight the whole time. So you're working the core as this thing spins around. Now, I only did it to 70 degrees. And that was like when it stopped, he said, good sound is going to happen here soon. And it was 10 minutes, 5 minutes one way, 5 minutes the other way. It was the hardest workout I've ever had in my life. And he said, he was telling me some of the success stories of people who are in wheelchairs who don't have any core strength to them. People who have like cerebral palsy, who have bad balance problems, and how their lives are changing. I believe it. It is an amazing, amazing invention. And it goes very much into the line of Ray Kurzweil, where Ray Kurzweil said, you only need 10 minutes a day, but you have to work all of your muscles at the same time. And he invented a machine, but that was like $15,000. And he does it 10 minutes a day, and it works every muscle in your body. This one works 50 muscles at the same time, all at the same time. And it's amazing because you're not doing anything. And by the time you get out of the chair, you're like, okay, that was good. And all you did was sit there.
That's interesting. It looks like it. I mean, it almost looks like fun. I mean, I'm sure it's not because it's exercise, but
I tell you, it would be a machine that I would go and work out on.
Well, because you're just sitting.
I'm sitting there.
Right. The Glenn Beck workout.
No, because you know what? Honestly, I felt that. I stood up and I felt that. I've never felt it all the way around my core. I felt every muscle that I worked.
A couple of days later will be killing you.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, maybe we should have some more ice cream.
It has been a tough week. Still.